What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Random Ramblings. I'm Jerome.
I'm Nick.
I'm Hess.
And today we're talking about Game of Thrones. We're starting our year-and-a-half journey watching every episode of Game of Thrones, get caught up, watch the new season. So from here on out, it's your show, Nick.
Wow, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Next week I'll expect the intro from you.
Yeah, it's your show now. For me, I was all Westworld. Now I get to kick my legs up and have you run everything.
Oh, so
Even though
that's
I
kinda
still have to edit it and shit, but
yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna do way more work than me. It's kind of cool though. This is like our third thing that we're talking about.
yeah,
But Unsolved, Westworld,
mean,
and now Game of Thrones.
we'll see if Hess finishes this. He didn't finish Unsolved, so.
Oh, that's true. Did you ever finish it? You were gonna finish it.
You never did.
No.
If think about it, the three things we're talking about, you didn't finish Game of Thrones. I mean,
Yeah.
originally you didn't finish Unsolved.
That's what
No.
we're giving him a second
I still
chance
have
now.
him. I still have him on my DVR. So
Well, it's on
Yeah.
they're
Netflix
there
now, isn't it?
Is it on Netflix?
I think it is.
I haven't seen that, but I don't go on Netflix that often, so I couldn't tell you for certain.
I'm pretty sure it just went on there, but I'm not sure.
I didn't see that, but that's
That'd be
fine.
kind of cool if it did. I mean,
Yeah, then you could
But I
delete it and you can make more
I was gonna
space
say because I have all 10 episodes saved.
for just that rainy day.
Yeah, that
All right.
rainy day that we'll never get.
Yeah, no shit. When's the last time it rained? All right, so should we start this?
A Night's Watch deserters track down outside Winterfell, prompting swift justice from Lord Eddard Ned Stark and raising concerns about dangers in lawless lands north of the Wall. Returning home, Ned learns from his wife, Catelyn, that his mentor, Jon Arryn, has died in the Westeros capital of King's Landing, and that King Robert is on his way north to offer Ned the position of the King's Hand. Meanwhile, across the narrow sea in Pentos, Viserys Targaryen hatches a plan to win back the throne by forging an alliance with the nomadic Dothraki warriors by giving its leader, Khal Drogo, his loving sister Daenerys' hand in marriage. Robert arrives in Winterfell with his wife, Queen Cersei, and other members of the Lannister family. Her twin brother Jaime, dwarf brother Tyrion, and Cersei's son, heir to the throne, 12-year-old Joffrey. Unable to refuse his old friend and king, Ned, prepares to leave for King's Landing, as Jon Snow decides to travel north to Castle Black to join the Night's Watch, accompanied by a curious Tyrion, but a startling act of treachery directed at a young Bran may end up postponing their respective departures.
I guess I don't want to say what are your thoughts on the episode, but what are your thoughts on the episode, basically?
Oh,
I don't want to ask you this, so you know what? I'm just going to ask you
Yeah.
this.
well, I enjoyed it. I do. I said it towards the end of the last podcast we did. When we talked about this very briefly. I've probably seen this episode probably about 12 times now because I watched this episode a bunch in like anticipation of me starting to watch Game of Thrones,
Right.
and I just never got past it for like probably 10 times.
Right.
Like I watched it and I'm just like, I don't know, like seems like a lot. This is a big commitment. Like so, but I've seen it a few times now, a lot, and I didn't realize, like I started it last night, and I'm like, I didn't remember the White Walkers being, so I'm like,
Yeah, I always forget that's how it starts out.
I'm like, this isn't right. I'm like, I'm not on this isn't season 1. Abby's like, yeah, this is. Don't you remember?
Well,
I'm like, no, I clearly don't.
yeah, you know what? When I started it, I was at the gym and I was skipping through because what's the fucking preview that they show?
They always show it's either Succession or the next one from
It was-
Big Little Lies.
Yeah, it was that one, but
Sharp Object. Oh, Sharp Objects.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I've seen this 100,000 times, so I start skipping it, and then it just gets to the gate opening on the wall,
Yeah.
and I thought, oh, I fucking missed something, and I went back, and I was like, and then I watched the whole thing through again. Nope, didn't miss anything, just wasted fucking 5 minutes trying to rewind it back and stuff.
That's
but
funny.
it's cool. Yeah, I forgot. Now, I haven't seen this one. I haven't watched it in, like, forever. Like, last time the season came out, I think I watched the previous season of Game of Thrones, but I haven't watched these older ones in a long time. So it's, whereas I've seen them before, obviously, it's cool seeing. I mean, they all look so damn different.
Yeah, they look very young.
Yeah, like Tyrion has a fucking different color hair. You know, it's just like
Daenerys' hair looks a lot more like a wig. Now it looks more like it's her natural hair.
Oh yeah,
Like her hair looks like it. You can tell this first season, even though I bet they spent a ton of money on it. It looks a lot more low budget than the newer ones do, I feel like.
I think I read they spent $10 million on this episode.
Yeah, like I know there's a lot going into it, but a lot of
$10 million?
a lot of it seems like it's like early, like they're like at least like the pilot is like we're kind of testing this out.
I might have made that up, but I think I read 10 million.
Well, that's how it is. That's how it was for like Westworld season 1 or something like that. Like,
yeah.
it's like
I thought it was like $3 million for Westworld season 1 because I feel like I remember.
No, I remember we read it was like a shitload of money when we did our first podcast.
Oh, I feel like $3 million's a fuck.
Well, you got to figure just taking a shit.
I get it. Yeah,
well,
I get it.
I think it's closer to that because I know Flash and Arrow, them they get like $1 million an episode.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like that's closer to what.
I mean, they film on location in Game of Thrones, so that in
that's
itself
pretty
is expensive. You know.
True.
Which kind of fucked them over for these last.
Where do they
seasons.
do a lot of their filming?
Isn't it like it's either Ireland or Greenland, something like that?
There's Ireland, like all kinds of places. Like,
okay.
I mean, they go all over because it's supposed
Isn't
to be
that how the
world.
Lord of the Rings was filmed as well?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, probably.
Except
I
think Lord of the Rings was. I think The Hobbit was mostly
CGI.
a soundstage CGI.
Lord of the Rings was in New Zealand, I believe.
Yeah.
But
because I've heard people say like they want to go there and visit, which would be kind of cool if you're into that. Like it'd be like going and visit like a Star Wars set. That'd be neat. Because like there's still I think like the Hobbit houses and shit out there.
Right. So, why did you start watching Game of Thrones originally?
Because my dad made me.
Okay, I know that answer for you. Why did you start?
Just because everybody was watching it. Everybody has watched it. Figured I'd get in on the action. A little late, like always, but
yeah,
better late than never.
What made you not want to watch that? Because you said you tried a couple times. What made you quit the times before? Because I've also quit on this show.
I don't know. Like I said, it was like I just feel like it was a big commitment. Like. There's a fuck ton of episodes, and I just wasn't sure if I was going to get into it.
This is definitely one of the shows that makes me feel dumb sometimes watching it.
Well, it's fun.
See, I don't get that at all.
At least
Westworld
early
makes
on.
me feel like that. I feel that way about Westworld. This does not make me feel dumb.
Oh, we'll see. No, I'm just kidding.
So far, it doesn't.
Well, what I was going to say, the reason, right before it came out, I read an article in the USA Today or something. It was that's a while ago because I haven't read a newspaper in a while. But they compared it to The Wire, and I was like, well,
and then you were sold.
It's like The Wire, but with dragons.
They didn't mention dragons.
Well, I remember when you first started watching it, you told me you were like, yeah, it's really really similar to The Wire. You and you just said as in there's a bunch of different characters.
Yeah,
they go deep into their characters and stuff like that.
Well, and that's I think what I like about it. There's just so much going on. There's so much story and backstory even before you even because the story picks up where we're started watching it now, but there's stories before this and there's story.
Oh yeah,
there's definitely a deep world.
Yeah, which I find cool, but it's weird because I don't usually like that kind of shit.
What I find weird about that too is you saying that is you find that cool, but yet these prequels that they're gonna make for it, you could care less about.
Oh yeah, totally.
Which is weird because you literally just said that those other stories are cool.
They're making prequels.
Yeah. They said they're gonna make 4. They don't know if they're actually gonna make
movies or
they want to make movies and other TV shows. But right now, there's already a set one that they're gonna start making.
HBO period or
HBO.
Oh, okay.
And, I think this one that they said they're gonna make is supposed to be 7,000 years before before Game of Thrones, something like that. I could be completely wrong on that, but I think they said it's set a while before.
Yeah.
So there won't be anybody that.
Yeah, nobody from this will be in it.
Just Yoda.
Oh, Jesus
right.
Christ.
No, I'm just kidding.
The shitty Force Ghost one from The Last Jedi.
That's funny. Yeah, see, that, to me, that's too far away to care about it, but I'm sure I'll watch it.
Yeah, that's way far away.
I'm sure I'll watch it.
I had not heard any of this. I had no idea.
I think they just announced it a month ago. They said a year or two ago that they were going to make 4 shows and a movie and books and extra stuff that. And then now they're like, we're actually gonna make 1 for sure. I don't know about the other ones.
I think what they said is they're they were planning on a bunch of them, but not necessarily going through with them.
And I know that they did say too that some of the shows might not be on HBO, 1 or 2 of them, which would be weird. I don't know if they'll go through with that.
Yeah, that would be weird. I don't know why they would give that up. But,
yeah.
All right, so if you want to, it's interesting. It's gonna be hard to like not do spoilers, but
yeah.
like,
We should say for anybody watching this, if this is your first time watching Game of Thrones, we're gonna try to not do spoilers, but I timestamp everything we talk about in the description, so you maybe peek at that and like I'll put spoiler warnings and shit like that in there, and maybe put it on the screen if I remember stuff like that. So we'll try not to spoil major events in the show for people.
I'll try my hardest.
And obviously
I can't
Hess,
promise
because
anything.
me and him could spoil a bunch of shit for Hess.
yeah, we can
So
fuck it up for you.
We will try our best
great.
not to spoil
Go
anything
ahead.
for people.
I just won't watch the rest of the show.
Yeah, well, that would annoy me too.
What would you do on nights like this?
I'll put in my 2-week resignation.
He'll finish Unsolved if we spoil this for him.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Is we don't want to spoil it for anybody, but we also want to.
I got you.
Something
I
might
got
slip out, and I'll try to pop up on the screen to warn people beforehand and shit.
And
like
maybe it'll be like you can like bleep it out.
Yeah,
like,
if it's too big, I might.
that'd be
just
pretty.
bleep it
That'd
out,
actually be kind of pretty cool,
Yeah, that's funny. And then beep. So
Yeah.
so what was your favorite part about the first episode? If you concentrate.
First episode.
It's kind of hard to break on, like, since we're not talking about 2 yet. It's hard to talk.
Yeah.
Right. No, I get it.
What's your favorite part of it? Like, what do you think is the best part of the first episode?
See, I'm such a dork with this that I like enjoy it from start to finish. Like, I
But
like
if
all
you had to pick like one part of it that you were like, that part is great, I could watch that part over and over again.
I probably when Khaleesi's pervy ass brother is disrobing her.
Do you remember what's funny about that? So me and him watched this last night because he watched it like a week ago because he's a nutbag. I watched it just yesterday.
I go, wow, getting a little jump on it.
I know.
I was excited.
But so I watched it last night, and he goes, "This is Andy Hess's favorite scene right here," and I was like, "Yeah,
No,
probably."
it's just, he's like a perv.
He's such a weirdo.
I said to Jerome.
What happens to him is my favorite thing in this season.
I know.
think. That's my favorite thing.
I think he's actually a bigger douchebag than Joffrey.
I don't know.
They definitely are hand in hand. I don't know who's worse because I mean, the next episode, Joffrey kind of takes the cake. So like, it's like,
Dude, Jeffrey. Joffrey is he. Don't even get me started. I can't wait to get into that little fuck.
Okay, but
But
Viserys has no power.
yeah.
yeah, but he thinks he does.
Yeah,
Well, he
but
thinks
that's
he's
what I mean.
He thinks he's going to have a lot of
He
power.
thinks he's going to have a ton of power. He thinks he's going to be king. I think if he was in Joffrey's position, he would be just as bad.
I think he
as
might
Joffrey
be. He might
was.
be worse if
Yeah.
he was in Joffrey's position.
That's what I mean.
But because he has no power, I think that makes Joffrey worse than him. Because Joffrey does have power.
I mean, it's
and
a
he's
smaller sample size, but like it's just.
Because
I mean, he literally told his sister that he would have all 45,000.
40,000
Yeah, man,
and
the
100,000 horses. Fuck her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he could get his kingdom
Which
back. Or
I
whatever.
may be misquoting you, but I think after that you said you might be a little sore after that.
Yes, I did say that.
I mean, I was thinking like brother of the year for sure.
Yeah. Well, and then at one point, when he's
Maybe that's why like what do they call that kind of porn? Like family porn or incest porn is so popular nowadays.
Because of Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
maybe. It's definitely popular in the Lannister
big fans
family.
of him.
Not him.
So your
Oh, I
favorite
guess.
your favorite part?
That's not my favorite part.
Well, I mean that's what you said.
That's what I said.
Well, at your favorite part, he says to her, "You don't want to release the dragon." And I literally said out
So
loud.
is he talking about his dick?
No.
Or is he
That's
talking about
what
he just-
Nick said. He's like, he's talking about his dick?
No, well, Abby asked. She goes, "Is he talking about his dick?" I go, "I don't think so. Maybe he is a perv, but I thought maybe like he was just gonna unleash."
That's going to
his
be
anger."
our new saying.
No, that's just what they say because they have dragon blood in them. Like
Yeah.
So like,
Well, he does he.
I mean, he's a Targaryen.
What is she? The Dragon Whisperer? What is she?
Not Mother of Dragons.
Mother of Dragons.
I like the
I
Dragon
couldn't-
Whisperer. That's
Dragon
pretty cool.
Whisperer is pretty
I-
cool.
She's like,
Couldn't remember what they call they referenced her as.
So far,
'cause
she's
he
the mother of
thinks-
eggs.
He
Yeah,
thinks
yeah.
he is
Her.
the Dragon Whisperer.
He thinks he's her,
Yeah,
basically.
basically.
Right.
And the cool thing is like,
But see, they drop little hints too, like when she like walks in the overly hot bath. And
Oh,
stuff,
yeah.
like-
yeah,
and they're like,
I mean, the first time I watched it, obviously didn't catch it. This being
neither
the
did
12th
I.
time.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
like you catch it. Like
12th time, he's like, I got this.
You know what? She might be in that fire because it doesn't burn her or the water.
Right, and then she's just getting ravaged by Khal Drogo.
Yeah, he rapes
reminds
her.
me of like a. Yeah, he reminds me of like a. I can't think of his name. One of the guitarists from Korn. He looks just fucking like the dude.
I wouldn't know the guitars from
Yeah, I
Korn
don't know
if you
either.
walked in the room. You know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Aquaman.
I dig it.
Who?
Vincent Chase?
Aquaman.
Aquaman? I don't know if I've ever seen that.
Well, it's
Well,
not
it
out
hasn't
yet.
come out yet, but he's in.
Oh.
He plays Aquaman in Justice League.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that makes sense.
We almost put our Aquaman pop figure on the. On
Yeah,
there
because we
just
don't
to
have
fuck
a
with
That would
Khal
be-
Drogo pop figure.
it. Yeah.
So we thought, we can have him.
Do you guys have any Game of Thrones pop figures?
Yeah, there's about 6 on the table right now.
Yeah,
I can't see. There's a camera in my way.
Oh,
There,
okay, that makes sense.
I got about
I
20.
see a Red Bull and a monster and then a camera. That's it.
I got
Yeah,
about
we-
20.
We got the Dire
Okay,
Wolf,
I
we got
just
the
didn't
Night
know.
King, we got Jaime, Jon Snow, the dragon.
What's funny is at first I didn't buy any of them because I was like, once I get one, I'm gonna want all these motherfuckers.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, now how many dragons do you have?
Like fucking 5 or something. I don't know.
You have like every stage of their life in fucking pop figures.
Yeah, but to be fair, they were mostly bought for me.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Well, yeah, because
Yeah.
you bought one, then we're like, well, we got a gift for him now. That's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Just give him some Game of Thrones
It's
pop
perfect.
figures.
All right, so let's get into what happened. Okay, so it's like I read it, but we can talk about it and then we can move on
Yeah.
to 2. So like, okay, so it opens up with the fucking wall and it shows you that there's
Yep.
White Walkers, and
Mhm.
Then
then
you think you're, I'm watching Walking Dead?
I know I'm like, what the fuck? Because I don't like zombie shit. There's another strike against this, which is weird. I don't like fucking kings and dragons and lords
Yeah,
and
you literally
ladies.
shouldn't like the show.
I should
But
not
yeah,
like
it's your
this.
favorite show of like all time.
It's weird, huh?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Is this does this top the wire for you or no?
It's rewatching it. It's fucking close. It's really
Okay.
fucking close.
So it's like a 1 and 1A.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So they show the wall. They show the fucking White Walkers. I don't know when the White Walkers reappear.
I think it's not for a long time.
I don't think it's.
Yeah,
long.
I want to say it's like
At least a season or two,
Wow.
a couple,
Yeah.
like a while.
I think it's like season 3 or 4.
And they-
or
It
something.
might be. It might. Well, we can't get in spoilers, but I think it's.
I told
far in the
I told
future.
Jerome the Dick Ranger who was the guy. Oh, good thing we're not children. You knew he was gonna die right away, but that motherfucker looked just like Matt Damon.
Yeah, and I didn't see that, and then he said that. So then the whole like 10-minute opening of the show, I'm like, well, it just looks like Matt Damon's walking around the woods and he's getting attacked by Game of Thrones zombies.
It was funny. I don't know.
I think I was tagged as Matt Damon in a picture
Oh yeah, you were on Father's Day. Yeah.
a week ago. Yeah, that makes me a little hurt.
I didn't realize you tagged him too.
Yeah, I said, well, yeah, 'cause Happy Father's Day, and then you guys are my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He goes, Happy Father's Day to both of my daddies or something.
Yeah,
like that.
to my hashtag daddies.
I didn't even realize it. I saw. Oh, Drum put a picture of Matt Damon and Ben Affleck on. Of course, he's probably.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
Instagram.
You can't see it below the waist. I just assumed you were down there.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, and then it shows. After that, it goes to Cersei and Jaime having a little conversation, and you're shaking your head.
Yeah, Cersei just makes my blood pressure
Yeah,
rise.
she is such a cunt.
She's a
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I
she's-
can't fucking stand her. And she just progressively gets worse and
Yeah.
worse and worse and worse. Like I just goddamn.
I mean,
Her and Joffrey, if they were real and I knew them, I honest to God would probably murder them and go to prison for the rest of my life.
wow.
Yeah, there's a certain thing in episode 2 that make me want to kill her.
Yeah, I know what that is. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Well, so that guy that they're at, the dead guy, you know who that is, right?
The dead guy. Where are we talking here?
So that's
The one that they had like the rocks on his eyes and shit.
yeah, and they're like talking, and he's like sitting there, like he's laid there. The people are working on him and shit, and like that's the
Okay.
hand of the king.
Right. Yeah. Because that's why Robert is going to see
Right.
Ned Stark to ask him to be the new hand.
Right. I'm not. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong. I'm not like I don't want this to turn into like a quiz show.
He was quizzing
No,
me
yeah.
the whole fucking episode. He's like, "Hey, do you know who that guy is? Do you know why they're having this conversation at noon? Do you know this?" I was like, "Are you gonna quiz me the whole show?" He's like, "Well, I want you to understand it."
Well,
I would like that. Like I think it would be cool. Obviously, it would be entirely too long. But like, if we were to just like watch an episode and just talk,
Do like a
through it,
commentary.
I
That would
think
be cool. That would be a
fucking
neat thing to
awesome.
maybe do for like every finale, because then
And
it
then-
will
and then,
be
like,
like
if
one
there's any-
episode.
if there's like any dead parts, you can just like fucking cut them. You know what I mean? Like,
well, because then
I don't know how much of a nightmare that would be for editing.
Well, I probably wouldn't even cut it because it could just be like people watching the show with us. Like, comment down below if you'd like that. If every finale we just did a commentary of it.
With copyright or no?
Well, no, because you wouldn't hear the.
Oh, I got you. They would just have to watch, like, start.
Yeah, we'd just be like, all right, we're hitting play now, and then.
Okay. Or just come over.
Yeah, just come to my house. We'll give you the address, and everybody can sit. I got one tiny couch for everybody.
1562.
Well, I just wanted to make sure.
I know how to get there. I don't know the address.
I just wanted to make sure that you knew that was the Hand of the King.
I certainly didn't when we watched it.
Okay. And then they're worried that, because he knows that they're fucking, basically. So
who knows?
The dead guy. John Aaron. He knows.
Right.
Cersei's worried about it. Jaime isn't.
And John Aaron was married to Catherine's sister, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just call her Cat.
Cat Stark.
Because
I always think it's weird when people
not
call
Catherine.
Cat. Is it? What is it really?
It is Catherine.
It's Caitlyn.
Oh, is it Caitlyn?
Well,
Is it Caitlyn?
I might even be saying it wrong. It's not Catherine.
Oh.
Now you got me second guessing myself.
IMDb, Jerome.
Should I look her up real quick while you guys yap?
Yeah.
If
you don't mind.
It's Catlyn or something, whatever. So
Caitlyn?
Yeah, Caitlyn, something like that. Let's just call her Cat.
Catherine?
She's a fucking annoying as fuck.
She is annoying.
Oh, it is weird. It is like Caitlyn.
She's not as bad as.
But I don't know how you. It's Catelyn Stark.
Yeah, it's like.
It's Caitlyn. Yeah, it's Caitlyn.
That's what I said, but you made me second guess
right.
myself.
It's all good. Caitlyn, Catherine.
Let's have the ultimate person tell us how you say it.
You get it.
Catelyn Stark.
Catelyn.
Whoa, hey, look at that, Catelyn.
Wow.
Man, we're gonna go get some cattle, huh?
Wow.
Hey.
So then King goes up north, asks Ned to be his fucking Hand of the King, not his brother, which was awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought about that the entire. For those who don't know, last week on Random Ramblings, Hess said that Ned was the King's brother. And,
no, I was confused. I mean,
you can't say no
who.
I
because
mean, it's on video.
You may have been confused, but you did say it.
I was just confused. That's all. I know who's who. Trust me.
So the first thing the king wants to do when he gets there is do what?
He wants a little dance.
He wants to see his sister.
Make a little love.
He wants to see his married sister.
He wants to get down tonight.
Sister.
Yeah, Ned's sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were supposed to get married like 17 fucking years ago or however.
Wish they would have.
It'd be a way different show if they did.
Completely, yeah.
It'd probably be a better show, Let's just be honest. Probably not, but
I don't think there'd be as much drama.
Yeah.
It'd be
in my head, it would be a better show.
It'd be a very calm Game of Thrones.
Yeah, somehow that wouldn't work out.
I'm sticking with it. Comment below if you're watching along with me.
I'm sure there's people that do agree, but I think for the entertainment wise, it's good that they didn't.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean it started the war, so like basically years ago they started a war because of her. So and obviously,
it's just unbelievable how
there's a lot more
petty and like spiteful and just
there's more involved with that. Are you talking about Cersei?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because we weren't. That's why I was confused.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Lyanna is supposed to be like some beautiful. I mean, you can't tell from the stone or whatever, but like she caught the Targaryen's eye, who was the prince, and that's what started the war.
Right.
And that's what. And then
I didn't know that was her name, Lyanna.
Yeah. So that's what they call Jaime the Kingslayer. He killed that king because of his dad and all this other stuff, and that's why Robert became king. So like, if they would have got married, none of that might have happened. Although something would have happened eventually because the fucking king was crazy as fuck.
Yeah, which they do get into that a lot later, which I find very interesting.
Yeah, that's cool. That part's cool. Like I would like to see that part.
I really like that stuff later on.
There was a rumor that one of the prequels would be like that battle and that time,
really?
and I was like, oh yeah, that'd be cool. And then they're like, we're going 7,000 years ago, and I'm like, so that's. I mean,
there's 4 other ones that they're gonna make.
Right. So I mean, so we get to meet all the Lannisters, all the Starks, and then, like you said, she gets that letter from her sister that says that...
Which her sister is batshit crazy herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't know that yet.
Yeah, it's
No,
true.
we don't know
as
that
far as
yet.
we know now, she's just as normal.
She's just a
as
sister, and
everybody else.
she says that the Lannisters murdered Jon Arryn.
Right.
And I was telling Jerome this when we watched it. It's really that letter that made Ned become Hand of the King, because he's
but
like,
you can kind of see it in his face, like when they show
yeah,
when they're
he's
talking
like,
about it.
oh, I gotta protect him. He can't trust any of these fucking people.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's basically the show shows you the Starks and how they're like a normal little family up in North, and everything's good, and then they all get split up right fucking away.
Yep.
Um,
Well, it was pretty wild too that when Robert shows up, he said, "I haven't seen you in 9 years."
yeah,
Like, that's pretty wild. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, yeah, I mean,
You're
even
s-
what I didn't catch this before, because there's a lot of you don't really know how time passes in
Mm.
the episodes. In episode 2, they mentioned that it's been a month since the first episode.
yeah,
Which I didn't
well,
remember that
that
at
makes
all.
sense because Bran wakes up at the end. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And like the wolves are way bigger and everything, so it's like
they're fucking full grown.
well, not exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
They're
I
pretty
didn't catch that
goddamn
before that
big.
they mentioned that a month has passed.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Before the king got there, they found the fucking 5 dire wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Their
I
house.
would love a dire wolf.
Those things are so goddamn cute.
You
Aren't
know,
they?
the ironic thing is that the big dire wolf that's dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
What killed it?
A sword?
No,
it was like
the
Oh,
stag,
the one that was there? Oh, okay.
which is the Baratheon symbol. So like that's like some foreshadowing there.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because the dire wolf is of the north, and that's kind of symbolizing the
Yeah.
Starks.
Yeah,
Right.
that's their
took
house.
me a minute to
it's-
get what you were saying. I
That's
didn't
their
know where you
house.
were going with
That's
that.
their
Right,
house.
that's their
sigil,
house symbol.
and then the stag is the Baratheons.
And
Oh,
real
okay.
quick, since we're on this sigil, and I think we should bring that back. I want to get the wax kit, and when I mail letters once a year,
I was gonna say,
wanna-
how
I wanna-
often
I
do you
wanna-
mail letters?
I want to create a Hess crest,
Hess,
and I want to stamp that shit. I think that'd be so fucking cool.
What would
Like
your-
I really wish people would do that. I don't know how I would do it. It would take a long time. Probably not. I just think it'd be cool as fuck to have like a Hess.
It would take a
family
long
crest.
time. You know what? Probably not.
Yeah, you could probably
You know how
go,
it is.
go to your local
Let-
stamp store and get a stamp.
I'm sure you could find a custom-made
no,
stamp
but I
like that
wanna do that.
online.
Actual fucking like.
Well, because all you gotta do,
Wax.
all you have to do is get a stamp made and then put some wax on the thing and stamp it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
no,
just
I
gotta
think
get
it's- I just think it's so cool.
you just
I
gotta
would
get
send
a
you guys
custom-
letters like once a week.
You
Just-
probably
just
would.
for
Would you
shits and gigs.
would you stamp it on someone's ass and say you wax that ass?
Sure.
Okay.
Probably not, because this is serious shit. Family Crest is nothing to fuck around with.
You wouldn't. You want your family crest on
What would
someone's
your
ass?
family crest be?
Yeah, a dildo.
Wow, that's hurtful. That's
Sorry,
very-
it
I
just
would-
it just came out. I don't know what.
that's very hurtful.
I'm sorry.
Only if this was a dildo.
Oh my
Oh,
god! Do you think he
wow.
sticks that in his ass?
You know that scared me for like a split second.
I thought it was gonna be a big,
Like, if you
pink
got a
dildo.
Pink dildo like handy. That's not good.
No, it's not. It's just a 5-pound weight. That's all.
That's what he
funny.
calls a
Curling-
dildo. Is
curl-
a 5-pound
curling
weight.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what. Maybe like an elephant, probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love elephants. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
Elephant
Yeah.
wouldn't be bad.
What would
Yeah,
ours?
what
What would ours be? Like a rooster, like a big cock?
Yeah,
Probably like a
that'd be
jet-
perfect.
Probably like a jackass.
See, I think I like rooster
Yeah, because
because we're the cocks.
yeah, I like big.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Wow. You don't like big roosters, trust me. One thing I want to ask, and then we can move on to the second one. I don't know if we covered everything or not, but
We
fuck-
didn't cover. fucking-
Bran saw
Oh, Bran-
Cersei and Jamie having sex
Yeah.
and got pushed out of the window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've
What a
read
fuck.
everything.
What a fuck.
What
What
a
a
way to end an episode, though.
You know, I have different
that's
thoughts
a
on
great
that.
way to end the episode.
You have a different.
It
thoughts
was
on
a
that?
crazy way to end the first episode of
Yeah,
the
to
show.
get you're like,
for
okay, well,
sure.
I'm gonna watch this. Brothers and
And
sisters
yeah.
fucking, and there's a lot of incest in this. Now that I think about it.
There is a lot.
You're just now figuring that out?
Well, I mean, I knew that before with Jamie and Cersei, but I kind of forgot about the Targaryens rubbing
Yeah.
each other's asses. and
Targaryen's been
shit.
fucking for years.
Yeah.
Jamie did that out of love, and I know that sounds crazy.
You can tell he really didn't want to, but she kept saying, just like she does in episode 2, she keeps opening her mouth to force a man to do something for her.
If she wasn't around,
Everyone would be so much better off.
Jamie would be pretty cool, right? I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's actually in his current time frame right now, he's a dick.
Yep.
But
yeah.
but I
he's
like
even
him.
a likable dick.
Yeah.
I mean, we are the roosters.
Timestamp that. he like even when he comes up to Jon Snow and he's like, "Oh, no, the wall, getting a sword," and then like
You like that?
No, but like
I was gonna say because that's cocky and just,
well, he
like,
went up
an
to
asshole.
him. I felt like he goes up to him as I'm gonna make small talk, but he just can't help himself. He's
Yeah.
but he's also the best swordsman around.
Eh,
No, he is.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, who's a
Well, I
better
mean,
one?
according to legend, he is.
Yeah.
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 Uh,
Yeah, and then he did the same thing to Ned Stark when he was like talking about it'll be nice to have you at the games. It's getting kind of boring or whatever.
Yeah, because he's
And
the
then-
best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's
Just cocky,
that-
and he's a Lannister. That's why
Yeah, they're all pretty
they're
cocky.
like you know
well.
fucking the Queen of England's family. They're you know what I mean? Like they're just royalty, I guess.
Yeah, they are. I mean,
So real quick before we move on here,
I do want to
so-
say one thing
Go ahead.
before you say anything,
What?
because I'll forget. Jon Snow did. It was important, that scene, because he gives fucking needle to.
Oh yeah, he does give
Arya.
Arya.
All right,
needle.
and that's what he was doing there, and like so that was pretty cool. And he does say his goodbyes. If you notice, he says goodbye to Arya and Bran. Like he's really close with them.
not Sansa.
He didn't say shit to her.
Yeah.
No.
And then
Which
Ma-
is
the
awkward,
mom
too.
was a cunt to
Obvious-
him.
yeah, and you
Which
know,
that's an episode too, but yeah.
oh yeah, that isn't too, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like I don't know. It shows like who he's close with,
close
and
with,
and
yeah.
who he's
Well,
not.
even his brother,
Rob.
comes up to him and is like, "Oh, is my mom nice?" Like he kind of like you can tell that they're close, but not as close as maybe everyone else.
Yeah, I kind of feel like Ned leaving pushes him towards the wall because he's not going to stay there with her.
Yeah.
Right.
When you
Well,
saw
and
the
see,
look
we-
she gave when he walked in the room.
Ah, I fucking want to punch her.
I know.
But you're right though. That's true. So what were you going to say?
So my question actually ties in with what you just talked about. All right. So Jon Snow is Ned Stark's bastard child. He had Jon with Willa or whatever her name is, right?
You sure?
Am I wrong?
No.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
What was that smirk for?
It's just I don't even remember that person's name. But
No, yeah,
okay,
he does mention that. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they talk about it. He talks about it with Robert Baratheon.
Yeah, and he says that
Um,
I'll next time we meet, we'll talk about your mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. So why is his last name not Stark? Because
Because he's a
like,
bastard.
Because he's a bastard.
Yeah.
So if
So-
you're in the north, you're a Snow.
uh-huh.
If you're I forget what
If you're in the South, you're humid.
No. I literally
No.
can't.
Son.
Here, I'll look it up. The
Son.
bastard names.
No, but like I mean, obviously, this was what is this set in? Is this like
It's
what,
if it's a different world.
okay? But is this set in a specific time, like 1700 AD?
I don't think it
or,
really
like,
has a time.
I don't think it has a time.
It doesn't have a time. Okay, because like nowadays, like even out of wedlock, like if me and Abby were to have a kid right now, that kid would have my last name.
Yeah, no, I've thought about that in the beginning, but
Even
it's
if
because
we're
they
not
have
married,
rules.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'm the father. So that's why I was just like maybe
No.
obviously times were different back then.
No, but that's what your mistake is. There's no back then. It's just a different place.
Yeah. Do you want to know
I
what they
got
are?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
snow, pike, stone, river, hill, waters, flower, storm, and sand.
Yeah, Sand was the one I was trying to think of because that's the people from.
Yeah, and it looks like there's gonna be a lot more snows than anybody else. There's I got a whole map.
Is
of it here.
is Sand where Theon Greyjoy's from?
No. He's
Why is he hanging out with the Starks? I don't because his
He's-
father's a bitch, right? Or he got kicked out of his little island.
well.
Right.
So Ned Stark took him.
Yeah, I don't think we know that at this point, though, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't know this at this
Right.
point, but
We don't have to talk about it. It just for
Well-
whatever reason, because I was just like, wow, I don't remember him being here this early.
Yeah, I didn't remember him either. But he's kind of a background character in these.
I mean, I
first
know
couple
who he
episodes.
is. I just
yeah,
was,
I think in the book he actually has chapters in the first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like quite a bit. Yeah, I mean he's their ward. Like he was taking from. Basically, they're like, hey, we're gonna take your son and we'll treat him as ours. Which most people, when they take your son and as a ward, they don't treat him good. But because the
yeah,
Starks
like a slave,
but the Starks are good people, so they've actually
Right. Yeah,
treated him
they'll
well.
Be nice to him.
which
so-
is shitty. That
yeah. So
don't want to spoil anything.
But that's it. So like they're like, hey, we got your kid. Lay off starting wars and shit. You know what I
Right.
mean? Because They're all fucking crazy. They're like the Vikings of Westeros, basically.
You know, I do gotta say, didn't know any of that you just said.
Really?
Didn't know a single part of it. I thought he just lived there.
The Greyjoys are nuts, but
Yeah, they are. They're fucking. You don't remember his dad?
Well, I
his
remember like
sister?
his family and shit that they're in a different place,
Jesus
but I didn't remember
Christ.
that the Starks like took
Well,
them
there's
over and
some
all
well,
that.
I mean that all
Some
happened
island,
prior.
right? Some isle or some
yeah.
isles.
What season does that come up in?
Fuck, I can't
3?
remember. It's all together.
3,
with me and
yeah.
shit.
Okay, so that's
2 or
Yeah.
3.
Yeah,
I'm just getting too far ahead of myself.
yeah. All right.
Yeah. But you don't like Cersei, right?
Nobody likes Cersei.
Although
Okay.
even how much of a cunt Cersei
So-
is in the show, I think Sansa might be the worst character in the first couple.
Sansa
seasons.
is not very likable.
She is.
No, yeah,
Oh,
for
God.
sure.
Which is weird because later on she's one of my favorites.
It's hard. It's hard because a lot of the things that she
Well,
does.
you start feeling.
Well, 'cause-
guilty
and you
for her.
also- you see her
start
grow
feeling
up, definitely.
Sympathetic for her. Yeah.
Kind of. I think it's hard to like at this point is because a lot of the shit she does, it's towards
She's just
Arya.
bratty.
Yeah, well, and
Arya is
she
one of my
likes,
favorites.
and she loves
Yeah, I love
Joffrey,
Arya.
and
Well,
she just
yeah.
wants to like touch his pecker and everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know, she's very annoying.
No, I hate Cersei.
Who is more hateable as a character, Cersei or Skylar from Breaking Bad?
Cersei. It's not even close.
Oh yeah, Cersei.
Skylar's just annoying.
I think even Catelyn is.
I didn't know
yeah.
anybody
worse
that
than-
like enjoyed Skylar.
I don't even think Skylar enjoyed Skylar.
Yeah, fuck her too. But she's no Cersei. I mean, she's not killing people and shit.
This
Yeah.
is true. This is true.
Bran's fate remains in doubt. Having agreed to become the king's hand, Ned leaves the north with his daughter Sansa and Arya, while Catelyn stays behind to tend to Bran. Jon Snow heads north to join the Brethren of the Night's Watch. Tyrion decides to forego the trip with his family, instead joining Jon in the entourage heading to the Wall. Viserys bids his time in hopes of winning back the throne, while Dany focuses her attention on learning how to please her new husband Drogo.
So all that. What's your favorite part?
First I did not remember Bran waking up this quick.
I
thought-
remembered him a second. I mean, I watched this like a month ago.
I guess
but-
no. You know what my first question is? You said you watched the first one like 12 times. How many times you watched
Yeah.
the second one?
This is probably only my second or third time.
That's what I figured. You know what I mean? Like so.
Yeah.
I-
Because
I thought
I might have watched it a few more times.
The second. I mean, it's still good. I like the.
But
fir-
like after like 4 or 5, like this will just be my second time watching them.
I was just curious because usually that's
yeah.
the way it starts. Like the fucking first episode of
Well,
Entourage, I could fucking recite.
Well, like with The Wire, I had to get like you told me like just get past episode 4, like because I did the same thing. I watched like the first episode a few times, and I'm just like, I don't know, this doesn't seem like. And then after you get past that 4th episode, it's just fucking
Yeah.
free sailing.
I'll tell you my favorite part to start this is when the king turns to Joffrey and goes, "You let that little girl take your sword," or whatever the fuck he said.
I
That
know.
fucking cracks me up.
I wish she would have just fucking killed him.
I really like when Tyrion is slapping Joffrey.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
That was one of my favorite parts of the
And he
episode.
like,
yeah,
every time.
he even does the same little bitchy cry when he falls down and she takes his sword.
Yeah, that was not a good episode for him.
No,
Not
yeah.
that he has good
I
episodes.
really wish they
but-
would have just opted him right there. That'd have been great if they just.
And then I didn't catch the first time through that they killed the butcher's boy.
Oh,
I didn't
yeah.
catch that either until I rewatched it a while back.
And I was just like, what the fuck? What a cunt.
Which so did I hear it right that they not just killed him but ran him down with the horse?
Yeah,
Yeah.
ran him down with a horse because he ran.
Yeah.
Not fast though.
I
heard
like
that-
the hound.
I heard that this time
Yeah.
and I was like, wow, that does not sound fun.
And like, Ned's already over his head.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like it's already like getting.
Oh, it's just downhill. I mean, it's just downhill from here.
Well, yeah,
That's
and
kind of the shitty thing, you know? Like, he's such an intricate part of the show, and then,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Or so you think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it probably wasn't the brightest move to take your 2 daughters to King's Landing.
Yeah, no, and their dogs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both lost their fucking dogs.
So yeah,
dire wolves,
So
you wanna be
there's
technical.
5 dire wolves. There's 4,
Yeah,
and the other one they had to fucking throw a rock at to make it run away. I felt bad for that one. She
I always
hit him
do,
with that
yeah.
rock.
Dude, Abby was bawling at the end of episode 2.
Oh, my
she
God.
fucking was crying.
I hate that
Really?
part.
Where he has to fucking cut the direwolf's throat. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was a little
She's
rough.
just
That's
fucking
right there. That's when
sobbing.
Cersei wins the cunt award.
Yeah.
She's
Oh,
just
they have
a
another
fucking
wolf.
piece of shit.
And then she goes,
Do you think,
lady, you didn't do anything.
Right
well,
there-
then you should have
Well,
fucking
yeah,
told
if
him
you
what
I
would've
happened.
spoke up and
Yeah.
fucking said
if I was
what really
Sansa, I'd be like,
happened,
okay,
this
you know what?
wouldn't be
Actually,
happening.
so I just remembered he was being a little bitch and
Yeah,
like just
exactly.
went off and made them like told them what happened because
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
you know the king would have been like, oh, he was a like because
Oh,
he
yeah.
didn't like that his son was being a pussy.
Yeah, as much as I hate Cersei and Joffrey, I like Tyrion, I like Jaime. I actually
I like Tyrion.
I actually like Robert.
Yeah, I do too.
He's kind of a dick sometimes,
He's
but
kind of like your asshole uncle that you love.
oh, that's
Oh,
fine.
so he's like me?
Like he's like that guy that comes over and you're like, oh, well, he's kind of racist, but we love him. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's like,
well, and
He's
you can't.
still a king.
Yeah, you can't really do much
I
to
got
him
you.
because he's the king, so he gets away
Right.
with more. But he's also pretty fair about it. He's like, oh fuck, you shouldn't have these guys.
Well, first
hit our
he
dog.
was just gonna be like, all right, you discipline Arya and I'll discipline Joffrey.
But
he
he
gets
doesn't-
done with it.
But he doesn't want to hear fucking Cersei bitch.
Yeah, all night they'll be in bed reading books, man. You should have fucking killed their dog.
Totally.
Yeah.
I like how you just.
Well,
called it dog.
and you know the shitty thing is for Sansa, like I know she's young. Do they say how old she is? 13.
Is it-
right?
13.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would say.
She should realize, okay, when her, however old Arya is, 8 to 10 years old probably, 10, 11.
I would assume
Sure.
something like
when
that.
when she punks the guy that you want to marry, he's probably not the guy you want to marry.
Well, she doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, now
It's not like she still wants to marry him, but if she
Well,
didn't
she
want
stood
to,
up for him.
It-
She stood up for him, and then her fucking direwolf died. It's her own damn fault.
Yeah.
yeah, no, absolutely, it's her fault. But
Poor fucking direwolf.
even if she was like, oh, he's a bitch, it's too late now. She's marrying him.
Yeah.
You know what I
True.
mean? She had no say in the matter. That's the way that shit
I
works.
did really like the scene too. Might be episode 1. Yeah, it was episode 1 because we watched it together. But when Sansa walks up to the table of Cersei and she's like, "Have you bled yet?" "Hello, little dove." And she's like, "What
Yeah.
the fuck?" She goes like that bitch just asked me if my vagina's bleeding.
Yeah. She's like, did you make your dress
Yeah,
yourself?
yeah. She asked her like a normal question, ask her if she bleeds, and then ask her a normal
How you
question.
doing? The food's good. Is
Yeah,
your
and-
vagina
and then-
bleeding?
and then-
Yeah,
And then takes a jab at Kat by saying, "Oh, you're too pretty to be hidden up here in the hills" or something.
yeah. I told Jerome there's a prophecy that I won't get into. That I think that's half the reason she's
like
super,
such a cunt to them.
super bitchy because she doesn't really know who.
Do you know when that prophecy comes up? Because I don't remember. I just know I've heard about it from you. I don't know about in the show.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
No, I can't.
I don't know.
Have you heard of any prophecy with her as far as you watched? So it's
No.
farther than season 4 then, because that's what he said he watched.
Yeah.
I watched through season 4. Yes.
Okay.
I think it's the beginning of 5, but I could have totally made that up.
Okay.
So I wrote a couple things down in this episode.
Was one of them when Khaleesi's just getting her butt cheeks smacked?
No,
Hard.
I did notice as soon as like it started, I watched it at the gym and it said nudity, and I was like, oh, yeah, there we go.
There it is. There
Yep.
it is.
And we even had a comment on the last one. So, oh yeah, we got
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
too.
That guy commented. I
Yeah,
think his name's
yeah.
Jeffrey Walker. He was like, me and my buddies really like that too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny.
Hopefully he's watching this. He really liked our Westworld podcast.
No, yeah, no shit. So,
It will do a comment section if you guys drop comments below.
Yeah.
oh, absolutely, because they could
Yeah.
comment because like we're all over the place too. So like
Yeah.
if
Well,
we miss
and
something,
maybe,
comment.
and yeah, if people start commenting a lot, maybe we can do a little that's how we'll start the show. Maybe
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could. Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
interaction going.
So we get to meet Jorah. Did we meet Jorah the second episode? It's hard when you
Yeah.
watch 2 because it's hard to separate them.
I'm pretty sure it was the second one.
Yeah, I think he's right.
So, what do you think about Jorah? Never been a big fan of. We call him Obi-Wan Kenobi because that's what he reminds us of.
Yeah, there's
Okay,
when
I
I was
mean,
first
I
watching
can
this because
see
I didn't
that.
know anybody's names, I would give them
Yeah,
Star
he
Wars
literally
names. That
just
would
called
help.
him Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
Let's see 3PO.
it was because I was like,
I think we had a C-3PO, but I
we
don't
had
remember.
we had a lot of people because
Yeah.
I was like, that's just how I remember them.
makes sense.
I feel like I like him more in these early seasons, and later on I get real sick of him. Like right now in the last season, the recent
I
one,
think-
I don't like him as much.
I can't remember, but I think that he gives you reason to get sick of him. But I don't want to spoil it, and I'm not 100% certain. But like he doesn't really bother me. He comes off as kind of like phony. to me, kind of a
He
little
just
bit.
reminds me of like right before old Ben. Just Obi-Wan Kenobi,
Yeah.
just
like
like
he could totally have been like in a prequel to Star Wars, to A New Hope.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And we
Uh,
just
He
had to
might- he
change his
might
wardrobe
be.
a little bit.
what?
Just have to change his wardrobe a little bit, not even that much.
I mean, some people love him, so I mean,
yeah, I don't love him, but I think he's okay in these first couple seasons.
I don't hate him.
right. He bugs me a little bit. Like he helps her off the horse, and he's like, "Hey, you need to eat, woman," and or whatever the fuck
You
he
know-
says.
Doesn't he give her some horse?
Yeah,
Yeah,
which-
he gives
that
her
wa-
horse meat.
That was like Jack Link's. Come on.
Yeah, it definitely was. Or Alberto. Or,
Yeah,
you know.
Do you
Something
think? Do you think like their horse turkey's good? Would you eat some horse turkey?
Probably.
If
If
that-
I was in
if
a
that's-
fucking desert with Dothraki, probably.
If that's all there was to eat, I would eat horse jerky.
Yeah. It's
I
probably
drink
And then
horse
get, and then
jizz,
get
too.
fucked by Aquaman.
No, hopefully I don't get raped by Aquaman. I
Did-
do
did
like.
you-
I mean, that's a plus for some people.
That's true.
Did you catch the ghost grass reference?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the ghost?
that shit. Ghost grass. That shit's real. Like it
Okay.
grows in certain places.
I don't. What is?
And that-
What's
and-
ghost grass?
Well, when what's his name, Jorah, right?
Yeah.
When Jorah is talking to Daenerys, that's her name.
Daenerys.
Close, but yeah.
Okay. He tells her that's how he thinks the Dothraki believe the world will end, is that it'll be taken over by ghost grass.
Yeah.
So I actually Googled it, and I feel like I saw something I shouldn't have seen when I Googled it.
For fuck's
So
sake.
I
Is
tried to
ghost
hurt-
grass a thing in Game of Thrones?
Just that episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
But what
I
is
mean-
it? I still don't know.
It was just like a field with.
It's like
Grass.
it's taller. It says ghost grass is taller than a human riding a horse,
Why are
and
they?
that it like
Why
I mean,
is it
they-
called ghost grass though?
because it's white. It's white.
Oh, okay.
Like, they're in that area for a long fucking time. So, I mean, maybe something else comes up with it and I don't remember it.
now my ears are gonna, my ears
But-
are gonna be peeping for it.
Leave it to Hess to fucking Google ghost grass in a fucking episode of Game of Thrones.
Well, I didn't catch that the first time through, and I was
I
just like,
didn't
wait,
hear that
what
either.
did he say? I go, what did he say? How do they think that? How did the Dothraki think the world was going to end? It just for whatever reason caught my attention.
They're also the reason that everybody in Westeros isn't afraid of her getting this Dothraki army is because they're afraid of water.
Right, because they don't have boats and they're afraid of water.
They won't. Yeah.
Which is ironic because he's Aquaman.
They'll never cross. They'll never cross the narrow sea.
Yeah.
And if they do, we'll just throw them right back in it.
Yeah, I did like that scene of Ned
To
and
quote
the
Ned
king
Stark.
talking.
Yeah, I like that too. That was first one, second one. That's second
That's
one.
second one. It's right after he's
He's-
talks to Jon Snow, and then they both go their separate ways.
I like that too because he kind of defends them going after her,
yeah,
which they get into more in the season. Of course, they know that she's there. They know that she's getting married. I don't know how they know that.
they got a little letter, didn't they,
Yeah,
from a certain feller?
it's from a certain feller. So, but he's defending the Targaryens who killed his dad and his brother,
Yeah,
burned their asses to the ground,
and then
basically.
yelled,
Yeah.
"Get burnt!"
with their fucking green fire shit. And he's
Oh yeah, they show that shit. That was a cool ass episode.
He's defending the Targaryens just because she's an innocent girl or whatever.
Yeah,
I feel like he's also defending someone else in that scene,
yeah.
which is interesting. You know what I mean?
That's actually what it's real annoying doing this because watching it, there's so many things that are cool in this season because of the way later seasons.
Correct.
And then I can't say a fucking word about it on here. I'm gonna forget by the time we get there.
Which is cool because it'll be a shock again.
But yeah,
You'll go,
there
"Hey,
there
it
was
is."
a couple moments, and so I was like, oh yeah, because of I can't bring that up on the podcast.
That's funny.
I hear you.
That's why I
feel the
was.
same
That's
way.
why I was glad to do it with you. You're like, I've seen 4 seasons, and I'm like, yeah, that's like half.
Yeah.
It'll
What
be
is there,
really
6 or
interesting
7?
There's 7.
when we get
Oh,
to
wow,
when we
okay.
get to the ones that he hasn't seen. I think it'll be really interesting.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It's
So
fuck.
get
I mean, it's
his-
fun now because I just want to talk about it and rewatch it,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll be fun to do it. But it's
Maybe we should just do 2 a day.
Oh
Hold
my
the podcast
Lord,
every night.
It's a lot of Game of Thrones.
Could
to
you
watch.
imagine?
That's how I felt when I started watching this shit last year. I watched a whole season in 3 days.
I mean, I could do it, but I mean,
I was just jamming them in.
Like his pink dildos.
You know, I think maybe we should dress up as Game of Thrones characters for Halloween.
Jerome wanted to dress up for this podcast.
Yeah, I did, but
surprise
then
you.
I got sprung on me that we're doing it today. So
Oh, instead of like Monday?
yeah, so I wanted to be like look like Jon Snow, and he'd be like Daenerys or something, or
You
vice
should
versa.
have saved that. That would have been fucking hilarious.
Well, you know,
It's
maybe
way too fucking
if
hot
we
in here.
do the commentary episode for the finale, maybe we could do it then.
Yeah,
'Cause
I mean,
we'll
I'm not doing it,
we'll
so.
probably film that and put it up as like a podcast, and then
Yeah.
like whatever. But like,
I have dressed up like Santa before, so
yeah,
you dress up as quite a few things.
you
let's
do
be
actually. You
honest.
should bring up what was her name, Whitney.
For fuck's
Oh
sake.
yeah,
Whitney Ann?
Whitney.
How did
Whitney
he?
Ann.
How does he fucking? Oh yeah, I dressed up as Santa, but doesn't bring up the fucking chick that he dressed up as to do pics.
That was my favorite thing. He's like, all right, so I'm sending you my picks for Nick's picks this week.
Mm-hmm.
Don't show Nick.
Yeah, and I was like, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with
For
him?
those people who are like,
Link in the description
Yeah.
below.
so they used to do a show called Nick's Picks where they did their NFL picks or whatever. It was all sports stuff, and Hess 1 week for his literally dressed up as a woman and talked as a girl named Whitney Ann the entire video,
I had makeup on, lipstick,
and
everything. yeah.
did a little girl impression. It was pretty spectacular.
It was unbelievable.
It's probably the most viewed Nick's Picks that you guys did
Yeah,
because
could we-
everybody in
I
our
don't e- I
family
don't
watched
even
it like 1,000 times
Yeah,
over and
oh,
over
no,
again.
They're like, oh no, you gotta see this
yeah,
motherfucker.
and like
And
showed
then
their
I'm like-
friends and shit. Like
Yeah.
it was brought up a lot.
Should have went viral.
And then for the picks, he went 0-16. No, I'm just kidding.
No, definitely not. No, Whitney did pretty good.
That's the best part is that you act like she's another person.
Are you gonna ever bring? Maybe if he can't do the podcast, when we'll get Whitney on.
Oh no, I
Yeah,
can't.
maybe I'll
no.
bring Whitney back.
She'll
one
be
of
like,
these weeks.
I like
Fuck
Game
Whitney.
of Thrones.
Well, maybe when I go on vacation in August, Whitney will fill in.
Yeah, pre-record a bunch of shit as Whitney for here.
Oh my god, that's scary.
I mean, I will be gone out of town for a whole week, Thursday to Thursday. So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
You're gonna have to stay caught up, and we'll have to do it without you, or do it with Whitney if that's fucking a thing now. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait to get
Fucking
Whitney on the
losing my
podcast
mind.
now.
I wrote two other things down. I mean, we can kind of wrap it up. I mean, I don't know if we want to keep
Whatever.
rambling.
However you
but-
want to work
It's
this.
been almost an hour, so
Yeah.
I was gonna say we've been talking for a while.
I
I feel like we could talk way more too.
This might be a slight spoiler. Do with it what you want. I mentioned this in Walgreens. Jamie mentions when Bran's not going to die that he would want to be a cripple.
he said I'd rather have a clean death than be a cripple.
Yeah,
right?
which is
So he sent the assassin.
excuse me.
He sent the assassin then, right?
Do you want me to answer that?
I mean, I'm just assuming.
I mean, that's what everyone thinks.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
but that's not. But he was.
Do we find out for sure at some point?
I don't know. I don't remember if you actually do find out like for certain who said it, who sent it.
Yeah, I think you
But
do.
I think
but
it's pretty clear.
yeah, I mean,
right?
because the dagger is Valerian steel, which
Right.
there's no more. So like it makes it
And-
super
and-
and dragon bone. Like so,
Yeah.
it's like a
it's royalty.
yeah like
Right.
weapon.
yeah like no one's gonna be able to afford that shit. So and.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is that so it's also easy to track, kind of, because you just know who has shit like that. So
Right.
Then you go to the gun store, how you would now, and be like, hey, who
Yeah.
bought this?
Because they got serial numbers and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, Kat thinks that they did it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and she
I
ends
mean,
up
I would-
writing off.
And
the-
hey, it's not like the Starks to make bad decisions. You know what I mean? So, I wrote that down, and I also wrote you.
White.
What?
he got really white.
I was like, fucking not even here.
I wrote down.
You can lower your mic a little bit if you want, so you don't have to lean down.
Thank
Well,
you.
just
sir.
because you were like going like that.
Well, could probably do this too, but I wrote down that what Ned said to John when they were like leaving, that he said, I don't know if this is exactly what he said, but he said, "You don't have my name, but you have my blood." And then basically, next time I see you, we'll talk about your mother.
yeah.
So
Which it's a while before he sees him.
it's a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, considering he's going that way, and it's not close.
Yeah.
You know, some shit might go down.
It's very interesting. A lot of the stuff that they word like that, it's like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing, fuckers. After like watching the
yeah,
season,
for
the
sure.
series already,
yeah.
which is it's very kind of funny that like, I mean, obviously they plan this shit
Yeah.
way in advance, and it helps that there's books. But
right.
But I feel like that shows that it is a good series. That like you could see stuff watching it now, be like, oh, they totally were leading us on from this season to stuff that happens in like 7.
Yeah,
Which is
Well, that's what makes
very
it good.
interesting. Yeah.
You don't always get that
Just little
feeling.
breadcrumbs, you know.
You don't always get that feeling with all shows.
Which is exactly why there's like you watch like season 7, and it's like previously on Game of Thrones, and you see something from the pilot, and you're like, what the fuck?
well, yeah, I read Uncle Benjen, that Jon Snow
Yeah.
ghost. You know, like
Yeah, he doesn't.
I don't think we see him again for a long
probably at least 5
time.
seasons, I think, maybe more.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I don't think.
No, you don't see him
I don't
again.
think Hess is
If
seen
he
again.
if he's in it again, it's in the first season. Like he's in like a scene or something at the wall.
Yeah, and then after that, I don't think he's in it again until maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
it's 7.
Yeah. Which, because I completely forgot he even existed because it was so long, and then we saw the previously on, and you had to remind me when we were watching it.
Yeah. Aren't you
Right.
glad I'm there?
Yeah, you're like Wikipedia for me. Except we're doing a podcast, and you don't know her name's Catalan.
Well, I because I read it and they call her Cat, so I don't know if it's Caitlin or Catlin.
I'm
You know
going.
what I
I
mean?
would just go.
I'm
what?
going
gonna
with
start
Siri.
calling her?
I just knew it wasn't Catherine.
I'm just gonna start calling her Kitty Cat.
Oh my god.
I'm not a big fan of hers, so
No, I'm not either.
I'm
yeah.
not. She's,
I don't like
Yeah.
kitty cat.
she does a
either.
lot of stupid shit.
That's from Wedding Crashers.
Wow.
Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, but it's
yeah,
been
a while.
it's been a long.
It's when like
time.
the Christopher Walken's wife is like cornered Vince Vaughn in the room, and she's like, "You want to suck this kitty cat? Just call me Kitty Cat."
Oh, my lord.
And she says, "It's the funniest fucking shit." The camera's dying. We're right.
Well, the GoPro just turned off.
All right, so the next 2 episodes we're gonna watch: episode 3, Lord Snow, and episode 4, Cripples, Bastards, and Broken Things.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Thanks for watching or listening to this episode of Random Ramblings. Make sure you watch the next 2 episodes of Game of Thrones because we'll be talking about those next week. Maybe comment down below and we'll bring that up in the beginning of next week's show. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week for more Game of Thrones.
Wow, that's hurtful.